Good morning. My name is Stuart Stotts. This is Song Premiere on Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. And thank you for being here. Today's song is inspired by this fabulous conversation Krista Tippett of the On Being podcast had with Abigail Washburn and Bela Fleck. And Bela Fleck is widely considered to be the greatest banjo player ever. And Abigail Washburn is his partner in every sense of the word, deeply soulful and spiritual person. The conversation is wonderful. And two things to note. One is that Bela Fleck took his banjo to Africa some years ago to kind of look for the roots of it there. It is rooted in that continent. And made a movie about it, which I haven't seen, but also made an album called Throw Down Your Heart, which is collaborations with African musicians of all types. It's a beautiful album. I've been listening to it. And the phrase comes from something that was said or felt, I don't really know. No one can probably know. When people were taken as slaves, it was like, throw down your heart, leave it, don't cross the sea with it. An incredibly powerful and painful way to think about that. And Abigail Washburn sings and plays beautifully, and so much of what she talked about, the music, the Appalachian music in particular, just filled with sorrow, the suffering of life, and where that meets kind of the Black influences as well musically. So the name of this song is "Sorrow is the Fruit of the Bitter Root," and thank you for being here. She walks by the river where the rushes grow, gathering breakfast for her family. There's a rustle in the bushes. Next thing you know, she's chained inside a ship upon the sea. And sorrow is the shoot of a bitter root. Sorrow is the shoot of the bitter root. The rows stretch out forever. Sun hits the ground like a hammer on the Georgia fields. Cotton flies like feathers, and the whip comes down, crushing like a sharp and studded heel. And sorrow is the boot of the bitter root. Sorrow is the boot of the bitter root. The whisper wind of freedom beckons from the north. Emancipated angels call your name. But the lies and the terror are just a different sort. Underneath the story is the same. And sorrow's the fruit of the bitter root. Sorrow's the fruit of the bitter root. The harvest of our history lies in blood and bone, fetters forged in time before today. Her heart skips a beat when her son goes out alone, wondering if he'll make it back home safe. And sorrow is the truth of the bitter root. Sorrow is the truth of the bitter root. If sorrow comes to bind you, you may throw down your heart and leave it beating on a rocky shore. But your heart will find you on wings that pierce the dark, and you'll be stronger than you were before. And sorrow is the flower of the bitter root. 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 Thank you very much for being here, and I'll put the link to that Krista Tippett interview if it's interesting to you. She's always good anyway, but this particularly just sort of moved me and captured my heart. So thanks for being here.